Hello and welcome to Smoke Mare Gaming and Car Talk. Today we're talking about Warhammer 40,000 and we're doing some maths. Specifically we're talking about the Celestian Sacresants and the Grey Knight Strike Squad. And the reason we're talking about these particular units is, if you saw my last video, on my first shooting and charging phase, I think I made a bit of an error, a bit of a mistake. If you look at the map here, you can see the centre of the board. That's the Celestian Sacresants shooting and charging at the Strike Squad on the objective. And this went horribly wrong. They basically all got slaughtered, which you might expect for a 75-point unit attacking a 120-point unit. But it got me asking myself, was this a valid move? Was it a worthwhile attempt? Or was it just a complete waste of a unit? And could I have done anything to make it work any better? So, these are the statistics for the units. That's the Grey Knight, so obviously, forgetting we've got toughness 4, save 2, wounds 2. They're the key things there, and those are their weapons profiles. Hits on 3s, strength 4s, 8, 6, 4, 6 and 4 for the melee weapons, with the APs of 0, 2, -2, damage 1 to 2. And then Sacresants we've got hitting on 3s, that really low toughness of 3, saves a 3+, only 1 wound each, unlike the Grey Knight's 2 wounds, and we've got a range of weapons ranging from strength 4 up to strength 8, AP 0 up to -4, with some lethal hits on one and sustained hits on the other. So, the first question was, what is the best case scenario for both of these units shooting and charging into combat with each other? So what I did was worked out what the maximum number of kills both of these units would get if they charged each other and they were successful with all their rolls and their opponent was unsuccessful in all of their save rolls. So if we look at this here, we can see the Sacresants charging. We've got the Inferno pistol killing a maximum of 1 model, bolt pistols that do 1 damage each, and the Grey Knight's got 2, killing a maximum of 2. And then the spears, we've got 3 attacks on the faithful 6 hits, taking out a maximum of 3 models, and the hallowed maces going up to a maximum of 12, although actually they've got lethal hits. So if you did perfect dice rolls, in terms of the Grey Knights, obviously we've got the Stormbolter, 1 damage each, 8 shots, so that's 8 models killed. Side cannons, that's 3 models killed. Because of the 3 shots out, then on the Nemesis Force weapon, you've got 12, so you're getting 24. So actually, unless you consider the lethal hits of the Celestian Sacresants, the Grey Knights are killing significantly more models. The question is, how does all this work out when you turn around and say, okay, we're going to both have average luck, what you'd expect to get, most of the time, halfway good, halfway bad luck, right in the middle. Now, this is the probability of the different dice rolls you can get on a d6. So 100% of the time you'll get a 1+, then 83% of the time you get a 2+, and so on and so on. These multipliers here are what I've used to work out the number of hits and wounds and saves and all that sort of thing to calculate the total number of wounds you'll do and the total number of models you will kill. So, with that said, on an average dice roll, when you're charging with these sisters, these are the results you're going to get. Probably going to roll, well, again, I've put in percentages here and it's all going to add up. So it's sort of, you can't really get 0.67 of a hit, but for the purposes of probability and whether it works out as being a good or bad move, it still applies. Ultimately, you might expect the Inferno pistol, with average normal luck across the board, to kill 1 model, 1.15. The bolt pistol, probably not going to expect any of them to kill a model at all. The spear, you're almost getting up to killing a model, and the hallowed maces, it's like 1.5. Again, you've got your 3+ to hit, and you've got your wounding on a 4+. You're looking at likely getting 5 successes because of the the wound roll, then on the saves, it's only a 3+, so they're likely going to get 3.35 saves, and the damage is 2, so you're talking probably 1.5 models roughly on average, so 1 or 2 probably. Added up, a little bit of luck, you might kill 4. Probably not though. You maybe kill 3. In my case, we didn't actually kill any, but we had some bad luck on the rolls there. In terms of the strike squad, they do somewhat better. So your Storm Bolter, 8 shots there, hitting on 3s, wounding on a 3+. You're looking at 3.5 successful wound rolls, 3.5 for the save, so you're likely to get about 2.3. The 1 damage adds up to about a model killed. The Psy Cannon's likely to kill another model, and then it's your Nemesis Force weapons, which are the main melee weapon of this unit. 12 attacks, 3+, you're looking at probably 8 hits. Wounding on 2, so you're looking at like 6.5, 6 to 7 hits. Saving on 4+, so you're likely going to save like 3.5 maybe. Damage of 2, total damage 6.5, 6.6. Combat weapon, unlikely to kill anything. Overall, you're looking at about 9.5 models killed likely. So against each other, with average luck, the actual potential for killing models with the Grey Knights is significantly higher than with the Celestian Sacresants. So that move of the Celestian Sacresants charging into the Grey Knights on the objective was probably not a great idea and heavily reliant on having some good luck. The next question is, what could we do to that squad to improve their chances of doing some damage? So here are 2 popular and reasonably sensible choices that you can do. First of all, we could add Adepta Sororitas for 90 points, taking us to 165 points for the whole setup. She's got a movement of 8, toughness 5, 2+ save, 8 wounds, 6 attacks on the Twin Flamers at strength 6, AP -1, 1 damage, and then we've got the Mace of Castigation, hitting on 2s, 4 attacks, strength 6, AP -2, 2 damage per hit. And the other option is the Palatine, who's got the toughness 3, save 3+, 4 wounds, plasma pistol, so we're doing 1 shot, 2+ to hit, strength 8, 2 damage if you supercharge it, and the Palatine Blade with 4 attacks, strength 4, AP -2, and damage -2. And if she's leading a unit, she will give that unit lethal hits. Also, if either of these units are leading Celestian Sacresants, then the Celestian Sacresants ability, Protector, Swarm Protector, will give the squad -1 to wound. Junith, if she's leading a unit, will also give a squad -1 to hit, so that does make a difference. First one we'll look at is what happens when you swap in the Palatine. Here's the expected results if you use a Palatine with the and you switch the maces for halberds with a view to getting sustained hits and lethal hits. And again, we're going to be using Righteous Rage and Rapturous Blows, discarding 4 miracle dice for this attack. So we've got hitting on 2s, obviously 0.83 hits, 2 wounds, successes. Half model killed. The Plasma Pistol, you might kill 1, you might not kill 1. Inferno Pistol, probably because of the modifier on the AP -4, you're looking at 1.51. You may well kill 1 with the Inferno Pistol. Bolt Pistol's probably not going to do anything. Your Spears, you're then looking at, okay, we've got 3+, 2 hits on the Spear, 1.6 successful, 0.83. Same as before for the Anointed Halberd, so we're expecting to get maybe one model out of that. And then the Palatine Blade, we're looking at another potential, so that's 3.59 we're expecting out there, which is around about the same as before, so it doesn't appear to make a difference. If anything, even with the sustained hits. That's the additional hits that you get with the sustained hits and the lethal hits on the anointed halberds, based on the chance of the number of sixes you're likely to get and the saves. You're probably only looking at 3.59 kills out of that shooting and charging phase. Now, when the Grey Knights do the same back, they don't do quite as well because of the -1 to wound. So here the probability's gone down by about 2 models, but there's still about double the chance of taking out models as the Celestian Sacresants and the Palatine, even though the Palatine's actually taking that squad up to 15 points more than the Grey Knights. Here's the alternative option, and this is swapping in Adepta Sororitas and going back to maces for the lethal hits. So she's going to give them -1 to hit, and the Sacresants will give them -1 to wound as well. Now the Flamers are looking at killing nearly a model. The Inferno pistols potentially going to kill a model, probably not the bolt pistols. The Spear potentially might well kill a model. It might get 1.5 or so, 1 or 2 out of the maces, and chances are you're going to kill one with the Mace of Castigation. So that gives you a total of 4.5 models. So with a little bit of luck and a little bit of average to bad luck on the Grey Knight side, you have a chance of taking out that squad with these. On the other side, if the Grey Knights charge, that -1 to hit and -1 to wound does make a difference. Now we're looking at getting less hits, so your Stormbolt hits are down, side cannons, your force weapons and your close combat weapons. Wounds are also going to be slightly down because there's less hits, and you've still got the -1 to wound, so you're down to likely 2, 1, then 4, you're 7, 5. Then you look at your saves, you're looking at potentially like 5.92. So it's still, they've got the potential to kill more models than the Celestian Sacresants. So chances are, if they get the first shooting and charging phase in, they're as likely or more likely to take out the unit, but the difference isn't as great. It's more like equal. A caveat to that is the fact that Junith is actually 90 points, so we're now talking about a 165 point squad shooting and charging into a 120 point squad. Obviously Junith also has the ability to get extra command points, but looking at it, she does add a lot of value to the Celestian Sacresants, arguably even more than the Palatine for the points cost. Whether the Palatine will be better with something like Battle Sisters, maybe the squad might be more effective in a squad of 10 with either the Palatine or the Adepta Sororitas, but we're talking about a squad of 5 against a squad of 5. So that's really the conclusion of here. Really, Celestian Sacresants don't work very well against relatively tough units on their own. You can put the Palatine with them to give them a better chance of taking out more models, or you can put Junith with them and get an even better chance, and actually I think that probably makes more sense. If we'd have made this charge that we made on that turn with Junith leading them, then probably we might have killed more knights than we did. And when the knights fought back and at the end of the fight phase, they probably would have killed less of our troops. So that's the conclusion. If you're running some Celestian Sacresants in your Battle Sisters army, probably you should try putting maybe the Palatine with them, but probably if you can afford the points and you've got the model, put Adepta Sororitas with them. Hope you found it interesting. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.